have learned bricolage, effectuation, causation, jugaad, and are the core products needed for entrepreneurship.
This course brought about the entrepreneur within me.
That competition is actually good because you want to stand out, so you differentiate.
Hatcherification has broadened my horizons and understanding of what entrepreneurship means. It has gone from just being a capitalist business world to now including lots of other skills as well.
Entrepreneurship is exciting. It always keeps me on my toes. There's always something different to do and something new to learn every day.
Hi, I'm ABHINAV, part of the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at the Bennett University. I'm a faculty here. Since we are a university and we are one of those who believe that entrepreneurial thinking is the key for every student going forward. Hence, when we develop our courses, we try to bring in the element of how entrepreneurship should be experienced and not only just restricted to a classroom setting. We designed something which is known as Hatcherification. The reason being, because we are a hatchery, we call our incubator as one of the most revolutionary things started by one of the private universities of our country. The reason why we introduced Hatcherification was that we saw that right across when entrepreneurship is taught, it is taught in the typical classroom mode, in a lecture mode. But that's not what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is about feeling it. Entrepreneurship is about getting your hands dirty with it. And entrepreneurship is about achieving a certain output. So we designed our course in 3 parts. The first part being giving the foundation and explaining the brief concepts of what entrepreneurship is, who is an entrepreneur, and why it is very important for an individual as well as for a country or an economy. So the second part, as I said, is about where a student is exposed to bringing his creativity out. It is about knowing how creativity can be channelized for each individual. It is about how people should innovate. Hence, we try to give them exercises and projects where they can freely use their creativity, not worrying about what the evaluation parameters would be or what would be the outcome of that particular exercise. Because the objective is only one, and that is to think freely, to work on their imaginations, to come out with something which is more new and may or may not be relevant at that particular stage. But it is about free thinking. Once they are exposed to the basic concepts, the frameworks, and they're able to channelize their own creativity and work towards innovating new ideas, we expose them to what we call as Hatcherification, which is more of an applied part of entrepreneurship. We also like to give them hands-on targets. We try to expose them to real-life entrepreneurs, their startups, try to give them that feel of what they would actually be doing. So it's not just about mugging up the concepts or frameworks, but it's about getting your hands dirty. And as we talk about getting our hands dirty, I would like to invite the person who assists and is the brainchild along with me of this Hatcherification, Manish Mathur.
Hi, I'm Manish. I take care of the hatchery over here, and primarily we give the exposure to students to the practical side of entrepreneurship. And when I say practical side of entrepreneurship, it primarily covers right from the stage when they form a team, they have an idea and they form the team, to the stage where they launch their product and their startup. We follow a structured model. Let me make you go through the model. Start from ideation and team formation. So when we talk about ideation and team formation, when students come here, they come in a group. We ask them to understand what are the areas they are focusing on, which will eventually help them to build the product and the business. So how they complement each other so that the product and the startup can be formed. The next stage is understanding the customer. We call it opportunity analysis. Here they understand their customer and they understand what a customer needs. So a difference between need and want. And accordingly they position their product in the market. The next step comes, we call it viability analysis. In this stage, they understand the business model. Wherein the business is viable, is it going to make them a sustainable business model, can they make out of it? This is the stage where they do that. Here comes the next stage, which is called solution development. In the stage of solution development, they work on the product. They make the product which they are trying to give to the customer. This includes right from making a minimum viable product, we call MVP. The minimum viable product is something which is shown to the customer at the stage when the product is not completely ready, but they can get what a startup is trying to offer them and eventually solving the problem which they are facing. The last stage is launch and beyond, wherein they launch their startup and the product to the market.
So thank you, Manish, for briefly explaining how a student's journey happens into Hatcherification. So all in all, it's about getting your hands dirty right from understanding who their team members are, trying to build on their own resources, their skills and competencies, and taking it right up to the level where they can actually solve a real life problem. Hence, this Hatcherification gives them an exposure to how real life, real world problem can be solved in a collective, in a very efficient manner, and that's why we call it as Hatcherification.
Hatcherification taught me how the most juvenile of the ideas can be developed and executed.